Welcome to Turnovision. It happened. We finally watched the first episode of
American Song Contest.
Oh, it was so good. We're going to let you know a few things here. First of all, what we thought about the performance overall, the presentation of the show. Number 2, the individual performances. We're going to go through and tell you what we thought of those 2. 3, we're going to go and judge the judges and see how they voted and give them some critiques. 4, we'll finally show you how we voted, what we thought were the best performances.
Share with you our secret.
Yeah, so let's get into it. So, as an American who's only recently started watching Eurovision, but somebody who's watched maybe more than a few years of American competitions like American Idol, Voice, things like that, I have to tell you, I was really happy to see how this turned out. This seemed like an excellent combination of both European-style Eurovision Song Contest. Some of the elements there, like the green room, going back to the booths, everybody with their flags waving and cheering each other and supporting each other. But at the same time, some of the traditional elements of an American singing competition, too. The 2 dumb hosts.
Yeah.
They weren't dumb. I should rephrase that. They were acting very light.
Casual, fun, just energetic.
I loved it.
Dancing, enjoying the show.
Exactly. So there was a lot of really good elements taken from both things. And I thought it was probably the perfect combination or amalgamation of 2 different styles of song competition. So one of the elements that I really liked that I think they brought over from American song competitions is that they would preface each performance with a little video snippet about that performer, maybe in their hometown or where they come from, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I like that they mostly let them tell about their state.
Yeah.
About those special, unique things that they cherish in their town and their state, in their place. And I really liked it.
I think some of the diversity is really what makes this more fun than a traditional singing competition here in America. Now, I don't think it's quite the level of diversity as Eurovision, of course. I think many people have, and rightly so, commented, there's a language difference in Eurovision where we all roughly speak English. Puerto Rico did Spanish, of course, that kind of thing. But I understand the point, and it's well made. I think, though, that what diversity we can show, we did. And it was really cool to see the performers from each state representing their state in the best way possible, I thought.
So little elements of team sports when you can cheer for your favorite, in this case not a team, but representative of your state.
Exactly. I think that's a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of state spirit, I think, in these competitions. And I think a lot of people are going to be exposed to new music. So that's another element that I really liked that may be a little bit American Song Competition, a little bit Eurovision, but I think it's something brand new. When they invite these huge groups of people on stage, massive dance troupes. That's something that we don't ever see in American song competitions, as well as some of the genres of songs, right? We don't really see a lot of rap in something like an American Idol or The Voice or something like that. And I definitely don't see it very much except for some contrived versions in Eurovision, right?
Yeah.
So I think some of those performances were really cool, really unique, and I'm super happy to see them become part of the American Song Competition, the American Song Contest.
I agree with that. So let's go ahead and start checking out the performances.
Yeah, let's go through them. All right, so let's go through the contestants in alphabetical order by state. Okay, so first up we had Arkansas and Kelsey Lamb with the song Never Like This.
Very country, so typical country song, like true to its genre.
Yeah.
Cute, neat.
The set was kind of like a field of wildflowers, which is
I'm
pretty cool.
glad she didn't put on that jumpsuit that she used on her rehearsal. That was terrible, but the dress was actually good.
I think this was definitely an instance where the live performance beat the rehearsal clip that we saw, for certain. And I think she did really well for her genre. I thought the song was pretty much a basic kind of country song.
Yeah, a little bit plain.
A little bit plain,
Yeah.
but overall a pretty good performance, I would think. Not too bad.
Yeah.
So next up is Connecticut. And one of my very favorite singers of all time, Michael Bolton, with the song Beautiful World. This seemed like a newer song, maybe something that he had somebody write for him or that he had written rather recently too. And it had a message about unity and coming together and, what a great place we live and we should all be thankful for each other. And I really liked it. It wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't overdone. Michael came out and really just kind of held the mic stand and sang his song the entire time. And I really liked that.
And he's not a young guy, but he still sings. It's insane how good his vocals.
His voice is unique, legendary, one of a kind. And it's crazy how I can hear just a couple of notes of his and instantly be transported 30 years ago when he's singing his big hits. He sounds just as good as he did then. So I love Michael Bolton. I'm rather biased. I thought that was an awesome performance. I liked a lot of the visuals, and I especially liked his song and the message.
Yeah, and staging was very, very good too.
Absolutely.
Okay, Indiana.
And this is UG Skywalkin with the song Love in My City. This is what I'm talking about. This is one of those unique things you'd never see anywhere else, really on any kind of live TV competition. I think this was almost a first, and I loved it. I thought it was really well done. I thought that their outfits, the stage presentation was really cool. They came out and there was a Mercedes GT, an AMG GT. That was really cool. But they also had a big crew on stage and a lot of hype people, a lot of cool dancing. Their outfits were on point, really unique and neat. And I really appreciated seeing this kind of thing.
And this is mainstream American music. It's what people really listen to. Young adults. I know that my son would listen to something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I don't know. This is what you will hear here on radio.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. Great performance. I think they're going to do really well. Okay, so next is Iowa with Alisabeth von Presley in the song Wonder. What'd you think of her?
It's a true statement song.
Yeah.
You know, powerful girl. Just came to deliver her message.
Yeah.
It's kind of the woman who can move the mountain if needed.
Yeah, I agree with you. A big, strong Iowan woman singing her song loud and powerful. It's very, very cool, you know. There was something very American about that performance. I realized that we don't have a monopoly on strong women's songs, nothing like that. But I think she did it in a way, it was very, very American style feminism, you know, in a way. And I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a neat performance. I think that she's a very brave and confident woman, and I liked seeing how strong her performance was.
Yeah, it's not the kind of songs that I would ever listen to.
No, not my cup of tea either. But
bring the diversity for the competition, that is a good song.
Yeah, and I appreciate how well she does what she does.
Yes.
So then we have Minnesota with the band Haus and the song Ready to Go. This was an interesting one. I don't dislike it at all. I think my initial thought was there's a lot of really good pieces here, but they maybe not so coherently put together as one kind of song, one performance. I think the song was a little bit bland, dry.
It's not a strong song, honestly.
Yeah.
And when you listen to it, by the end, it's kind of becoming a bit annoying to me.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there were some bright spots. I liked the singer's charisma, but he wasn't really... Maybe it was a bad performance for him, too. There was a little bit of pitchiness, a little bit of dynamics that didn't really work out. That didn't really come across in translation, I think. But there was some bright spots. The bass player and his bass line.
I love the bass line.
That was pretty cool, right?
Cool, yeah.
That was pretty neat. And there was a lot of cool dancing happening during the thing.
Yeah, for me it was a little bit disappointing. My feeling in the first seconds, I was wow, this is promising. This is probably something that I might like. Yeah. And then in the end, I felt guys, I may like you, but maybe in a year or two, you just need to a little bit grow as musicians and just put your stuff together.
I would 100% agree with that sentiment. I think they've got a bright future, though.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they bring next. Okay, we next have Mississippi. And Keyone Starr with the song Fire. What'd you think of that one?
That was fire indeed. It was just a blast of energy.
Yeah.
Really like her personality and how strong she is on the stage.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the song wasn't bad. It wasn't something super memorable, but her energy, her intensity, her charisma, just her total vibe was awesome. You couldn't sit still watching the whole thing. I'm a sucker for pyrotechnics. There was plenty of fire in the performance.
Yeah.
So that was really neat. I really enjoyed her. I got such a great feeling after watching her, too.
Yeah.
Just really happy and ready to go. Very cool. I loved the what she's got, the stuff that she brought to the stage. Very cool. All right, so next up we have Oklahoma and Alexa with the song Wonderland.
We know a little bit about Alexa. She's quite popular in Korea.
Yeah.
she has songs with 20 millions and more.
Wow.
Yeah, so she has a huge fan base. And she, I think, half Korean, half Russian, something like that.
So I thought that it was a good mix of K-pop and American pop, right? I think, though, it leaned far more heavily into American pop in terms of song and sound and style, whereas the outfits and certain vocal melodies were probably carried over from K-pop. But it was a really cool blend of the two. And she's definitely a star, either which way. I mean, her stage performance, everything else was really neat. You know, a lot of energy, a lot of charisma, a lot of look at me, X Factor kind of stuff. So I think she's going to do pretty well. Even if that song wasn't exactly my cup of tea, I think that song is going to be pretty popular with a lot of people.
The performance was very strong. I really liked visuals.
Yeah.
All those ropes tied around
Yeah,
her.
those were all really
The
cool.
floor that is kind of like distorted and it's just cool
It had
visuals.
to be super hard to dance on. I'd be falling over if that floor was moving underneath me like that. Woo!
Yeah, she's a good dancer.
She really is.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Puerto Rico with Christian Pagán. I hope I'm not blowing that. But the song Loko. Now, I thought this was really cool. And I'm really happy to see Puerto Rico represented in an American competition. They're absolutely in American territory. They're Americans, as you know, Puerto Ricans first, sure, but part of American society. And it was really great to see them specifically represented here. And I thought his song was a very great representation. It was a very kind of middle of the road, but very well done of that kind of musical style, of that Latin influenced, you know, almost reggaeton, dance hall kind of style.
Yeah, it's very mainstream in Hispanic culture. It seems to be what would be on radio and what people would enjoy listening. It had very beautiful melody. I really liked it.
Yeah.
And I like the whole, you almost felt for a second that you're indeed in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was a good, strong performer, too. I thought his best part was probably his voice. You know, his performance was cool, his outfit was good, his charisma was on, but his voice really stood out more than anything else to me.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Fun indeed.
So, next up, we have Rhode Island with Hueston and Held On Too Long. How'd you feel about this guy and his soulful performance?
Okay, if people watch our channel, they know that we hate ballads. And if you want to know what kind of ballads I hate, that was perfect example. It's when cliche music, cliche lyrics, cliche vocals, just cliche everything. I'm sorry that I'm rough like that. If he would not win jury vote, I probably would try to be nice here. But I didn't think that it was the strongest performance of the evening. In fact, it was for me the most boring performance of the evening.
Well, I think he did well. But I think a lot of it,
great, but...
well, you're right, a lot of it was very contrived. I think he had a good voice, but it wasn't especially unique, and it was maybe a little bit overdone in parts, too. You know, just a little bit too much sugar in the frosting, so to speak. The song itself was not really memorable, necessarily, to me.
Not at all. I don't remember it at all.
But I think what really is appealing about him is his overall look, chemistry, his whole presentation, I think, is what probably makes him fairly popular. Just maybe not for me.
That aura of suffering.
Yeah. Suffering in tiny Rhode Island.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be mean, but I just so couldn't relate to that song.
Yeah.
It's even hard to find any good words.
Yeah, I didn't hate it, but I agree with you. It's hard to relate to it.
But again, it's only one ballad for the whole evening, so it definitely has its own niche and represent particular genre and part of our American culture.
I'm positive many people really liked it.
Yeah.
So we're down to the last two. The first of which is Wisconsin with Jaco and Feel Your Love. So I like this guy, right? I like what he's bringing to the table. I like everything that he's doing. But again, I felt like it just wasn't cohesive enough to really pull me in. I think the song was maybe a little lackluster. You know, there wasn't a lot of uniqueness or remembrance to the song itself. You know, it wasn't memorable. But I loved his charisma. I loved remember the stage dancers and their outfits in the background? Really, really cool. I loved how he would go out and play with the audience with his guitar as a gun, you know, all of the gimmicks and tricks that he did, I thought were really, really cool. But the song just wasn't there for me.
Yeah, I agree. The song was not strong. I agree with you that the dancer's outfit
Yeah.
was my favorite outfit of the evening. It was really cool. Yeah. And I really like his personality, but I feel pretty much the same like about that band that we discussed earlier, that he's a very promising young artist, but he needs several more years to develop and find himself fully. Yeah. Definitely somebody that I would be interested in too.
Well, I think there's no doubt about that he's a star in the making for certain. Yeah. Okay. So finally we come to Wyoming. This is Ryan Charles with New Boot Goofin. Did you like this?
Absolutely love it.
I did too. It was my favorite of the whole night. I'm a New Boot Goofin fan. All right, I've been not able to stop saying New Boot Goofin for a little while. This was incredible in the way that he brought two styles together in a perfect combination, and did so with his tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, with some very clever lyrics. You know, the part about my new boots are, you know, fresh diamondback rattler, so fresh you can still hear the rattle or rattling. I mean, genius lyrics. Really, really cool. The whole attitude of the whole thing was so neat, so lighthearted in a lot of ways. You know, just a song about new boots and dancing in your stupid new boots. And what could be better? I think that this was the highlight of the night. I really do. I think that if you were going to have an American song competition and you want something that's uniquely American, Ryan Charles and New Boot Goofin was it. That was awesome.
I agree. I love when there is a fusion of different cultures, sounds, styles, and that was a perfect fusion for me.
Yeah.
I love fun, almost jokey entries, you know, but that's still done so well, almost genius, you know?
Yeah.
And his personality is just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. He had everybody out of their seats dancing, including Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Although I think Snoop Dogg was dancing for most of the songs throughout the night.
But that was the biggest
But
dance.
he was New Boot Goofin. Snoop was New Boot, Snoop Goofin, Dog, Snoop, Goof. Another words with double O's. All right. So that was a good look at the individual contestants, but what did you think about the judges voting?
And I think you already can guess. If they voted for the song that I liked the least, probably I'm not very happy with their choice. Looks like judges goes for just like this big voices, slow songs, and this is not what I want judges to do. I want them to look for uniqueness, for that X factor, for people who are very creative and can bring something so special that nobody else can do. And
yeah, well, I wonder who the judges are. Of course, we don't have an exact list of the judges. They could be industry professionals who are judging it a lot on, or very biased towards things they think could sell in the American market.
That is true.
As much as I like New Boot Goofin, it may not reach number one on the Billboard charts without a big push. Although I think a song like Hueston's may well get there. I think it's going to have some pretty widespread appeal. So I don't disparage the judges voting, but I don't think I agreed with it necessarily.
No, I don't agree. Even if you follow your thought that it should be a potentially commercially successful thing, then still Alexa probably did better for me. It was full package.
Yeah.
It was stronger performance, better song, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Well, on that note then, why don't we reveal how we voted? Since we disagreed with the judges, who did we award points to? We had 10 points to break down, and we split them between a few different artists. So let's start from the beginning. Who did we award 1 point to?
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Christian Pagán. Loved that style. Loved that sound. Really cool to see them in the performance. Who else?
Another one went to Mississippi.
Keyone Starr and the song Fire. That energy was awesome. You just feel so good after watching that. A lot of fun. Finally,
Michael Bolton.
Yeah, gotta love Mr. Bolton himself from Connecticut. So, all of those artists got 1 point from us. We awarded 2 more artist points. Who were they?
3 points went to Indiana.
Yeah, UG skywalkin.
Full disclosure, we lived in Indiana, so we're a little bit biased, but
little bit. I spent a few years in Indiana for certain, and we met in Indiana.
Yeah.
But it was really cool to see an artist from Indiana come out with such a unique performance, and I just want to encourage more people to bring those kind of performances and to let people know, to let TV executives know, hey, we want to see more of this kind of stuff. This is a lot of fun. So 3 votes to Indiana. So finally, we awarded the rest of our points. 4 points went to...
Cowboy Ripper!
Yeah, Wyoming! Ryan Charles and New Boot Goofin. I know it was probably obvious how taken I am with New Boot Goofin, but that was my number one of all night. And I had to suggest we award the most points to him. I adore that kind of performance, and I hope to see a lot more of it.
So, as you noticed, we didn't vote for Alexa because we know that she has a huge fan base. So, if you care about her, make sure to vote.
Absolutely. Well, let us know what you thought. Maybe let us know how you voted even. We'd love to compare tallies, and we'll see you next time on Turn of Vision.
Bye-bye.